What's going on, guys? Welcome back. If you're coming from the first video, we're just taking a quick little break here. Just came back from a rip, kind of doing a little meet and greet. Got some subscribers coming up to hang out, and we got some iconic people here in the industry. We got Dave Moore right there. There's Justin Sturgill Trucking, and of course Pete Hager in the background there. So we are just kind of hanging out, getting ready for the next rip.
Yeah.
I think I've spotted a Pete Hager.
Totally caught me off guard. Dude, check that out.
I know.
I lost my voice. I'm not looking to say a lot.
Now that's a rescue right there.
Wow. Dang, look at the gimbal.
That's badass. This is Pete's new YFZ450. Got to ride with him a little bit yesterday. We're going to ride a little bit more today. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Pete's new YFZ450. Here's the Raptor.
There's got to be other places.
Justin's 389R has been running really well. Dave Moore's over here talking everybody's ear off.
What yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying.
Got Connor, Reed. I've been ripping this CRF hybrid. This thing is a beast. Really enjoying riding this. Super big thank you to DBC for letting me use this. He's been having a little bit of problems. Feel kind of bad. Sheared the front bolts off, unfortunately, bumping into somebody. But I will pay for that. Got the DRW Warrior. Probably the fastest Warrior. I can tell you right now it's the fastest Warrior I've ever ridden because it is the only one I've ever ridden. But I don't think normally a Warrior would be as powerful as this. Definitely a cool build. Really, really custom. And here is our Lost Soldiers machine. This is Blake's 250R. It's a Lobo. The thing is absolutely spotless. Unfortunately, Blake isn't here with us right now. He actually aired this bad boy out, and I did not see it, but apparently he was about 25 feet in the air, and he broke his back. So he was able to walk and everything, so hopefully it's not too bad, but he's in the hospital now. So we'll all have to hope that Blake gets better with no time, and that he comes back to the sport, and it's not too bad. Here's Reed's 450R. Got some good slow-mos of them out on the dunes. Doing some drag racing. Another super clean quad. You can see these guys at DBC Racing. They keep their shit straight, man. Even after this Lobo crashed yesterday, you really can't even tell. I think the only thing, the handlebars are bent down just a little bit. We're with Rocket Ron here.
Hi guys.
So you do suspension, right?
Yep. We're out here having fun, getting our game on.
You're pretty well known. Where should people go if they want to get any suspension from you?
Well, they can get it from me. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana, and you can find me all over Instagram and Facebook, and rocketronracing.com or rocketronracing@yahoo.com. And been doing it for over 30 years. I'm a racer and love helping everybody.
All right, so let's check out this bike real quick. This is supposedly this is one of the most popular 250Rs on Facebook and Instagram.
Hybrid.
I can see why. So is this an actual 450R with?
It's an 08 450R roller that I turned into a hybrid.
Okay.
I put an 89 bottom end with a CT310 kit. Did all the fab, the motor mounts, everything myself, and built it as a 57-year-old would if Honda still made a 250R, because they probably would have used this chassis and maybe a 300cc two-stroke motor. And guys my age that raced them brand new in the 80s, how would we fix this model up? Well, that was the theme I tried to follow.
That's why people love it. I can tell you right now, that's why people love it. So we just rejetted this thing. This is Andrew. He's going to take it out for a rip, see how it feels. Are you riding with us? Are you riding with us? All right, so we're going out with a 250 250R group ride.
Now you're probably thinking exactly what I'm thinking. What the hell are a bunch of tractors doing on a 250R group ride? This is for 2 strokes only. I just don't know.
This is pretty freaking cool.
guys remember that weird thing the 250R was doing in the beginning of the last video? Yeah, well, that's about to come back right now in 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Whew.
Alright, so at this point I wasn't even freaking out because the motor was kicking over, it still had plenty of compression, the temperature was only at 205 degrees so it didn't overheat, so it wasn't like it was seized up or anything. So I'm thinking maybe like the gas tank vapor locked, I ran out of fuel, fuel wasn't on, I wasn't really sure what was going on here. Then I started playing with the kill switch because that's what we thought the issue was earlier in the day. It was just really confusing, but it turned out to be none of those things.
What the It's got compression.
What on it?
Yeah, it's got compression. It's not seized. It was doing this earlier, but the kill switch was having problems. It was running great the whole time. If the plugs maybe failed. I mean, it was running really good. It would do this right before the first break.
Done?
What?
Die on you?
Just died.
Now, in trying to get this thing figured out, 3 guys came down to help out. Unfortunately, I don't have everybody's Instagram handle, but one of them was Brent, who goes by Dune Man. These guys helped out a ton, but there was really only so much we could do. We were way out in the middle of the desert. We tried putting some different plugs in there, and eventually we did narrow it down, and we noticed that the spark was super weak, and you could actually hold the spark plug and kick it over. And if you've ever had a spark plug in your hand when the motor's turning over, you know you're holding the spark plug. And the fact that you could actually hold onto the plug and almost feel nothing at all, we definitely narrowed it down to some sort of ignition problem. So it was time to head back.
All right, I'm good to go. All right, well, this is pretty embarrassing, but we're towing it back here. But the good news is it's not blown. So a couple of these guys came down to help out. It's got some kind of weak and intermittent spark. So we think it's the ignition went bad. Luckily, somebody actually has a spare HPI, and I brought my OEM ignition with me. So I guess I can throw the OEM ignition on, and we'll still be able to keep riding for this weekend. But luckily, you know, it was running really well, and hopefully it will run well with when we put the OEM ignition back on there. This guy's actually got another HPI as well, so I don't know if I want to put another HPI on, but he has an HPI, and he said the spark is so strong, it's crazy. He said, like, he held it, and he damn near fell on his ass. We were holding the plug and kicking it over just now, and you can barely even feel it. So it's definitely something with the ignition. I gotta say, man, I'm super thankful for these people that came down to help out. We're pretty far out in the dunes right now. If they didn't come down to help me, I literally would be like, I don't even know what the hell I would do. I guess I'd have to walk back. I'm guessing like miles. We probably miles away. I mean, we were ripping. We came pretty far out. Or just wait until somebody comes along, but that'd be pretty bad if nobody helped out. So these guys are awesome.
You thinking what I'm thinking? You're damn right I'm gonna try pop starting this sumbitch. See what happens.
I don't want to stay running.
So a slight victory, at least being able to ride back to the camp under the quad's own power. And it had good power too. If you were blipping the throttle, it was pulling pretty hard. So definitely some kind of ignition problem going on. And we did find out what was wrong with it pretty quickly. And it's pretty crazy when you see what happened.
That's weird.
It does not want to stay running in the low RPMs, but it has power.
It has power.
Yeah, it does not want to stay running though. So if it has a really weak spark,
Exactly.
that's what I think is going on.
And we're just right there in that workshop. You can come over, I'll give you that HPI and see what you can do. Or I can give you stock shit too. I got brand new stock shit over there, but I don't have wiring harness.
I have a whole ignition system on it.
Okay.
All the OEM stuff.
So, and you might
The only thing I might need is if you have that counterbalancer holder. Mine's an adjustable, and I took off the adjuster.
I'll go over and I'll get Hayden to get it rolled off.
So I did decide to take Jared up on his offer, took my bike over to his rig, and first thing we did was pop off the Stator cover, and this is what we found.
All right, for anybody that saw me break down on the dunes, this is what happened. We had condensation in the Stator, and you can see this got all rusty and everything, and it was causing intermittent spark problems. After it sat for a little bit, it fired up. It was actually, it started on the first kick. We're like, what the hell? So we think all the condensation and water pooled at the bottom, and it dried out slightly, and that was what made it able to start. So luckily, I'm over here with Jared and his son Hayden, and these just awesome people. And he actually has a spare HPI, which is just, who has a spare HPI, you know? So he said this can be fixed if you bake it, but obviously we can't bake it right now. So I think we're gonna swap this out, and we'll see if that should fix it, and we'll be good to go to ride tomorrow.
So fast forward, I got the 250R in the JST workshop. We're basically just in the back of the trailer here working on this thing, trying to get it going. And there are some super iconic characters in here. We got Dave Moore and Bubba Ramsey. If you guys are in the ATV industry and you're into the racing scene, especially two-stroke, then you probably already know who these guys are. They're huge in the 250R and Banshee world. They build other stuff too, but they have some super iconic builds. A lot of drag racing stuff. Dave loves doing trikes, so does Bubba, and I mean the stuff that they've built is just unbelievable. Check this stuff out. All right guys, so check it out. First I'll go over Bubba. Here is his Facebook page. I'm not sure if he has a website. You can see it's BHP, Bubba's House of Power, and I want to show you guys some of these pictures that he has here just to kind of give you an idea of the stuff that he works on and the machines that he builds. It's some pretty serious stuff. These are pretty badass drag bikes. You can see this shit is no joke. And Bubba's known for super meticulous work and just doing great stuff in general. And he does have the fastest normally aspirated stock cylinder in the country, and also has the fastest 250R in the 8th mile on asphalt. The stock cylinder went 4.2 seconds at 72 miles per hour in 300 foot of sand, and the asphalt run was 6.4 seconds at 102 miles per hour in the 8th mile, which is crazy. And now let me hop over to Dave's site. So these are some of the machines that Dave's worked on, and you can see he really likes three-wheelers. Dave is the man. I spent a lot of time with Dave when we were out in Oklahoma, and I've probably spent like an hour plus on the phone with him almost every day since Oklahoma. So it's been a lot of time on the phone with Dave, and he's just been teaching me so much stuff. So if you look at these machines, you know this dude knows his shit. I mean, look at these things. These machines are no joke. I mean, look at this thing. This is like, you literally got to lay on this thing, or you're gonna get blown off the back. That's Dave right there. It looks like he's a little bit younger, but the stuff that these guys are working on is just completely legit. So you can imagine, I mean, the stuff that I've done is like a drop in the bucket compared to these guys. Both of them have been in the industry for like 30 plus years, just building some of the fastest and most iconic machines. So just super humbling experience working with these guys. So anyways, now that you know who these guys are, it was just a super humbling experience to actually be able to work with these guys and have them work on my 250R. It was just really cool, and I kind of just sat back and watched them do their thing, took it all in, and really just went to school. They taught me a ton of stuff. Me and Justin just learned so much stuff
What these guys were teaching us was really, you can't even put a price on it. Plus, we made a lot of good friends here, and it was pretty neat. The back of the trailer was open. We had subscribers walking in and out, and just some really, really awesome guys checking out what was going on. It turned out to be a really great experience. So you may notice in these shots, the cylinder is off of the quad. So Dave wanted to check out the port work on my cylinder since I had done that myself, and it was the first port job I ever did. So I really wanted to get his feedback on that. And in doing so, Dave did notice the piston to cylinder wall clearance was way too tight. So when Justin and I bored the cylinder and did the port work, we just didn't allow adequate clearance between the piston and the cylinder wall. So the quad was running really well, making really good power, but there was some heavy wear on the walls of the piston, and it definitely needed to be opened up just a little bit more. It was nice to hear that after examining the internals of the engine, Bubba and Dave both confirmed that the jetting was within the proper range, and my fuel to oil mixture was also good. The internals of an engine do expand and contrast even under normal operating temperatures, and without the proper clearance, the piston is going to expand before the cylinder, and it's going to cause a little bit of premature wear, which is exactly what happened. So even though the motor was running before we took it apart, it definitely needed to be opened up just a little bit. Port work wasn't bad, but Dave definitely wanted to take the cylinder and clean it up for me, and that's an opportunity I just didn't want to let slide. So I gave the cylinder to Dave, he brought it back home, and he is currently doing testing with that cylinder, testing all different kinds of pipes, all different kinds of reeds, intakes, and everything to find the maximum amount of power that I can possibly make. And in doing so, he's been on the phone with me pretty much for about an hour every single day, just teaching me about port work, pipe combinations, and all kinds of stuff. So this experience turned out to be pretty awesome. So for all the people that have been asking about the 250R, that's what's going on with it. People have seen in the background that the motor's apart and everything. That is why I still don't have the cylinder back, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, Dave is doing a ton of testing and stuff, and I cannot wait to see how that thing comes back. The difference in performance, I have dyno sheets and everything. It's pretty incredible, and I can tell you this, the results are, I don't know if I want to say phenomenal, but they're outstanding. So the cylinder is making crazy good power. It was making crazy good power to begin with, but now it's even better. So it's super, super exciting, and I think you guys are going to love it. So unfortunately for this trip, this was the last rip that I was able to take on the 250R because I wanted to give all my parts to Dave, like I said before. But don't worry, the trip is not over. I got to ride the DBC Racing Lager's 450R, and that thing is freaking badass. So in the next video, you definitely want to stick around for that one. That quad rips super hard. Plus, I have some other cool content that I want to show you guys, so you're not going to want to miss that video. So for this one, I'm going to call it here. I appreciate all you guys watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. Make sure to hit that little subscription button, and make sure to hit the little bell so that you get notifications when I put up new videos. So stay tuned for part 3 of Little Sahara, and I will see you guys soon. And don't forget, Top Quad is coming. It's right around the corner. Peace out, guys.